The Asphalt Cowboys are hosting their annual pancake breakfast, and thousands of people are expected to come through this morning and have breakfast. And let me tell you, it is a process to feed that many people. Good morning, and that's exactly right. Today, more than 260 Dutch Bros locations in 7 different states. They're drinking coffee so they can dish out a donation for ALS this morning. Good morning, you guys. I am here in Red Bluff, and we are just days away from the biggest pro rodeo happening this weekend. Joining me this morning is Ruth. Ruth, we've got something going on here. What is happening this morning? What do we got going on?
We're about to ride a bull, and you can see him warming up a rope. This is Amir Beardsley.
With less than just 1 week until California's June 7th primary, Sanders' staff has confirmed that the presidential candidate will be here tomorrow night at Laxon Auditorium on the Chico State campus to hold a rally. It's not about the number of followers or likes they can get, but it's about the message they're going to spread today. They're upping their social media presence, and today, Ed Nelson with the Chico Police Target Team is joining us. You said it's a competition between you and the other guys here cooking next to us. I mean, how do you get people to come to your grill as opposed to this guy right here?
Well,
good morning, you guys. I'm here at the Chico Mall. A new 5K challenge is coming to the mall here later on this month. It's called the 9 Run 1. Can you guys give us a quick rundown of what it is and what it's benefiting? We begin in Shasta County. For those of you living in Redding, be prepared to take some detours this week as road work begins on 2 major sewer projects. One of those projects will start this morning. It will span between Oakdale Lane and Springer Drive near Bob White Park. That's right. This weekend is also supposed to have the 2nd highest travel volume for the Memorial holiday ever. Guilty was the jury's verdict revealed yesterday morning in Sacramento.
Good morning, Mackenzie.
Good morning to you, Megan. Across the board, pastors that we have reached out to say they are shocked and angry at Roger Jimenez's message to his congregation. As Californians voted to open their primary system, it still won't count when it comes to this year's Republican presidential contest. Sources tell CBS News the FBI investigation dogging Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign is in the final phase. With one of the most closely watched presidential primaries in modern times, California's voters have grown by nearly 650,000 people in the final 6 weeks of registration. If you recall, last month, the council decided that the scrapyard would be able to remain at its East 20th location, but due to a clerical error, the ordinance will now have to be reheard at a city council meeting. Jurors reached their verdict after deliberating for only about 5 hours yesterday, and that's after being required to start all over again. Cameras caught every move from the time these 2 suspects arrived at the store to when they fled the scene. The lawsuit was filed yesterday, not only detailing horrific civil rights abuses against people with disabilities, but as well as cruel retaliation against detainees that make their concerns known. Good morning, you guys. That's right. Independence Day is typically the busiest summer travel holiday, and this year California is expecting its biggest travel year since 2002. Reporting live in Chico, I'm Mackenzie Nelson. Back to you in the studio. Today on Action News Now at 5, we have the latest in the officer-involved shooting in Modoc County that left 1 deputy dead. The identity of the man, plus what the governor had to say overnight. Good morning, I'm Mackenzie Nelson, and you're watching Action News Now. We'll have the latest news in just a moment, but first, here's Court Klopping with a quick look at your AccuWeather forecast. Well, an investigation is underway this morning in Tehama County after a shooting left 1 man dead. According to the sheriff's office, just after 6 yesterday morning, shots were heard at the corner of Mariposa and Gerber Avenues in Gerber. Then investigators say a man identified as 31-year-old Corey Leffler called 911 to report he'd shot and killed an intruder. Central Valley High School is scheduled to be back open this morning as authorities continue to investigate a threat made towards the school. We called overnight and a sheriff confirmed school will be back in session today. It's finally happened. After 108 years of waiting, the Chicago Cubs are finally World Series champs. The Cubs beat the Indians in a dramatic Game 7 in Cleveland to win their first World Series title since 1908. Hillary Clinton heads back to the crucial state of Florida today as the FBI searches through thousands of newly discovered emails, possibly connected to her private server controversy. A man dressed as a teddy bear has been arrested on suspicion of public intoxication and threatening a hotel clerk with a knife in Shasta County. Anderson police said 28-year-old Travis Wallace was arrested after an employee at the Baymont Inn said he was dressed dressed as a psycho teddy bear and making threats on surveillance video. The ongoing battle for a Chico scrap metal business continues this morning, just months after the issue appeared to have been settled. Begin this morning with an update on a bizarre crash in Oroville involving a state parks ranger driving a state parks vehicle. The ranger was detained by Oroville police yesterday afternoon after leaving the scene of the crash. And this morning, we have cell phone video of the incident. There is no verdict yet in the Patrick Feaster involuntary manslaughter case, which has now been handed over to the jury. Turning now to news here in Northern California, we begin with the latest details in the four-car crash that left 2 people dead. It happened on Highway 99 just north of Chico. We checked overnight and the identities of the 2 people killed have not yet been released. Today on Action News Now at 5, new overnight, Chico police say they have a suspect in custody who they believe has been flashing several children at stores across Chico. And we're learning more this morning in the shooting death of a Modoc County Sheriff's deputy. The identity of the man who could be charged with capital murder coming up.
Athletic fields are undergoing some major improvements this summer in Chico and Paradise. Action News Now reporter Mackenzie Nelson joins us now with updates on some of the work. Good morning, Mackenzie.
Good morning to you, Megan. Like you said, a number of Butte County gridirons are undergoing a new facelift, which means athletes will soon be able to step foot on a brand new field. Work began in May, and construction crews at Pleasant Valley High School continue to gain ground on the school's athletic field.
Right now, you'll see that the drainage system has been installed, and they're pouring the rock on the top.
After the rock is laid, it will be covered by a layer of sand, followed by the new synthetic turf. And as of today, the project remains on schedule.
We're getting much closer. After they're finished with the field, they'll jump over and start working on the track surface.
This right here used to be a typical grass field, but as construction continues, it will soon transform into a gridiron with the latest in artificial turf.
We're using an environmental fill, which is basically plastic-covered sand that will fill in between the fibers of the synthetic turf.
The former grass field couldn't withstand the amount of usage it was getting. Kissel says the community uses the sports field every single day for many different sports.
Rugby, soccer, field hockey, football, a number of sports can be able to function here.
Chico High School will continue to share a field with PV this school year, but they haven't been left in the dust.
They're getting a new track and a new field, exactly like this field.
The project is expected to be complete prior to the first day of school on August 18th. Paradise High School's field is also under construction. The field is getting a new drainage system installed, which could pave the way for an artificial turf field in the future. Back to you guys.
Now, a hospital stay can be a difficult one for a patient and their family, but it's the volunteers that help make them feel right at home. Action News Now reporter Mackenzie Nelson introduces us to one veteran volunteer making a difference at Enloe Medical Center.
For the past 16 years, Ronnie Campbell has dedicated her time to something she never considered doing before moving to Chico.
To be honest with you, I've always worked, so I'd never even thought about volunteering.
She's been volunteering at Enloe Medical Center since 2000, and she recently received a national award for her hard work.
She's an amazing volunteer. She is a go-getter and is able to really get people to where they need to be and the resources they need.
Ronnie was honored by Points of Light, the world's largest organization dedicated to volunteer service. Those who work alongside her say she is more than deserving.
Definitely. Out of any volunteer, top of mind would be Ronnie. She is an exceptional volunteer. We are so lucky to have her here at the hospital.
Over the years, Ronnie has been credited with recruiting dozens of new Enloe volunteers. She says it's her excitement that draws people in.
I find out from friends what their likes are, what they're interested in, and inevitably I have a program for them at the hospital, so it really is, it's a very easy sell.
She was also instrumental in starting the medical center's Patient Ambassador program, which provides visitation and advocacy to patients.
When I was patient ambassador, I would say it was like a 50-50 of helping family members, getting through what they were going through, even if it was just a cup of coffee.
Before volunteering at Enloe, Ronnie had never worked in a hospital setting before. So after nearly 2 decades, we had to ask, what keeps her coming back?
I think it's just a connection with people, whether it be family or patients, speaking to people. I think really it's just helping. I really enjoy being able to assist in any way.
Making the stay at Enloe Medical Center a little easier is what makes Ronnie Campbell an award-winning volunteer. In Chico, I'm Mackenzie Nelson for Action News Now.
Well, history was made this week at Chico State as the university welcomed its first female president to campus. Action News Now reporter Mackenzie Nelson joins us now. She sat down with the university's new leader to see how she's adjusting to her new job. Good morning, Mackenzie.
Good morning to you, Mark. That's right. Yesterday was Dr. Gail Hutchinson's second day in office, and I had the opportunity to speak with her and find out what she has in store for the future of Chico State. Take a look. Dr. Gail Hutchinson first stepped foot on the Chico State campus as an assistant professor in 1990.
When I walked onto campus that day, I fell in love with it. People were really nice. I had a real sense that the faculty and staff here are here for student success.
Tuesday was Hutchinson's first day in the office, and she's no stranger to the school after spending 23 years of her career right here in Chico.
I feel as if I've come home, and people have been so warm and welcoming. I mean, I can walk the streets of Chico and people are saying hello left and right or introducing themselves.
Hutchinson previously taught kinesiology and was a chairperson of the department as well as dean of the College of Behavioral and Social Sciences at Chico State. She left campus 3 years ago to serve as provost and vice president for academic affairs at CSU Channel Islands.
I would say that when I left for a fantastic opportunity, and I learned a lot in 3 years that I was away. But in the back of my mind, I always thought and dreamed, wouldn't it be wonderful if one day I could return to Chico?
Hutchinson says coming back truly is a dream come true.
To have the opportunity to come back and serve in this role is a homecoming.
In the university's 129-year history, never has there been a female president. Hutchinson says it is an honor.
I think achieving and earning the spot as president is a real honor and a privilege.
With that, Hutchinson says the title comes with a great sense of responsibility.
The first thing that I will be tackling is a 100-day listening tour. It's important for me to really meet with individuals and groups on campus.
Hutchinson says the 100-day listening tour will allow her to hear what others feel the university is doing well and what it needs to improve on. Now she says she's excited to get to work.
To have experience at Chico State means that on day one, I truly get to hit the ground running, or sprinting for that matter, because I'm very familiar with campus and its workings, and I'm also very familiar with the North State and the city of Chico.
Hutchinson says her goal for the upcoming school year is to serve the students and the community to the best of her ability. During my sit down with Hutchinson, she told me that in order to serve the school and the community, she must get out and interact with students, staff, and faculty. On her first day, she spent most of her day walking campus doing just that and plans to continue doing so. She told me it is